DeWitt, is there any defense for these other three?
I don't know that there is, and I'll piggyback on what we were just talking about here, and whether or not this is a normal and or usual thing. Look, I'm a civil rights attorney. We deal with these type of cases all the time. The unusual part really is how this community really kind of banded together and stuck up for and advocated for George Floyd in a moment of great need because he was being taken advantage of by some officers who went well beyond what their call of duty suggested they needed to do. I don't see how these officers, knowing their training about positional asphyxia and restraint asphyxia, knowing their training about giving first aid and what they're supposed to do in circumstances like the one where they encountered George Floyd, I don't know that there is any reasonable explanation that can be offered for the behavior of these officers, the malfeasance and or nonfeasance of officers who stood by while Chauvin had his knee on George Floyd's neck as he begged for air and begged for his dead mother to please help him. It's unimaginable for me, and I believe that's the same that any jury who sees this is going to feel.
Yeah, Justin Morone, don't even want to talk about Chauvin tonight, right? I mean, let's talk about the other three. Is there any defense for them? Because based upon the reaction of the 911 dispatcher, the people at the scene calling 911 on the police, this is so different than anything we've ever dealt with. Do they have a defense?
Well, let's put it this way. The video itself is horrific. It's despicable. There's not much you can say. But if you're an attorney and you're a defense attorney and you happen to have to represent one of the three other officers, you're looking at two charges of aiding and abetting. One is of second degree and the other one is of manslaughter. Now and the big question is, especially one of the officers never, I think, even touched, I believe, Floyd. So the question is, did he have a duty to stop the other officers, which really becomes a legal issue. But can they defend on the fact that they didn't aid and abet the second degree, which you have to show felony assault? And if they all believe that he was trying to effectuate arrest, meaning Chauvin, or they potentially could defend on it. But it's going to be exceptionally hard. Listen, the video and the fact that there was so much time went by, over 8.5 minutes, and it just was egregious. In fact, he stopped breathing, I think, 2.5 minutes. And the fact that no one did nothing is really going to put them in a hard spot to possibly get out of the second degree aiding and abetting and only be found guilty of aiding and abetting manslaughter, which I think they have no chance of winning. And that's the legal balance here. Can you get a jury to focus on that issue and strip away all of the emotion of this video? And it's going to be very difficult. Now, the one officer at the end, Lane, he was only on the force for a couple weeks. And he already has admitted that he was following what his lead officer Chauvin was doing. He's starting to flip against him. So, it's possible, but it's difficult. And I wouldn't want to be one of those defense lawyers, I'll be honest with you.
Can I add in there,
Lisa,
Vinny? Look,
go ahead,
can
DeWitt.
I add in there very quickly? And it's not meaning to cut you off, Lisa, but look, I get it that Thomas Lane is, trying to create the narrative that he's a new officer and he should be judged differently because he's a new officer on the force. But hey, look, all of us as attorneys don't get to go to the court and say, hey, we're new attorneys. Please forgive us for this egregious issue of malpractice. No, the court and or state bars will come down on us just as hard, no matter. Once you pass that bar and once you're given that badge and given the authority to enforce the law, you have a significant duty and an awesome power and responsibility. And I just don't think that he gets away from that.